This Meditainment production is brought to you today by the Samurai Aquatics and Decor Metaventure. Scan that QR code or click that link in the description and dive yourself headfirst into the Samurai Aquatics Discord server to pleasure your peepers on our current and future range of outdoor decor.
Established in April 2021, Upland Development United is the oldest and most exclusive and transparent no development collaborative in the Upland Metaverse. Contact Morecheese at 68 for more information. Warning! This podcast is produced by Metaverse Ventures Entertainment and contains unsolicited and heavily biased opinions which are solely the views of the individuals involved. It does not include investment advice of any kind and you are responsible for undertaking your own financial, including tax liability research relevant to your own individual circumstances.
Taking over the Upland Development United. Total meta domination.
All right, thank you for listening to or watching the UDU Podcast. This is year 3, number 109, presented by Metaverse Ventures Entertainment, Morecheese, and me, Ben68. And featuring all of the co-hosts today, we've got Dak, Joe Lives, the agency, TB125 Uplander, members from the Upland Development United team, and of course, general Upland community members. Today's show is recording live on either Tuesday the 11th or Wednesday the 12th of July, depending on where you're at. How you doing this morning, Cheese?
I'm good. I mean, if people heard Dak before the show, we would have so many more members in here.
Lubricating us up nicely for what's to come. Yes.
Yeah. Look at him. I hope you have this on grid view.
I don't yet, no.
Come on. You're missing Dak and all the beautiful faces.
All right, this week, as always, we'll catch up on some crypto and Upland market news, and then we'll run through some of our co-host segments. We'll cautiously go knocking on Upland's door and speculate wildly on what they're quietly cooking up back there. And of course, we'll discuss whatever pops up randomly through the show. After all, the UDU podcast is, of course, of the people, by the people, for the people, and 10 internet points if you know the Osho line that he spectacularly added on to the end of that quote. I'm not going to drop it because I don't want to get cancelled.
What, John Hancock?
No, you can Google it. Of the people, by the people, for the people, but the people, and you can fill in the blanks. If you're wondering how you can join in live with your very biased opinions, well, each and every week we drop a link to the Zoom in the MVE Discord, which you can access via mve.productions. Let's get into the Breaking Badly news and take a look at what's currently happening in some of the Kryptos and Upland markets. Not a lot again. She's just did some Googling, so she's broken for the next 5 minutes.
No, Dak.
No.
I blindly sent out my link to people. I might have accidentally sent it to Dak while he was in here.
Well, he's already in here. Nice.
I didn't Google it. You want me to Google it? Hold on.
You can if you want. It's up to you. So, yes, not much happening in the crypto. Pretty flat there. Bitcoin's back over 50% dominance, which is interesting. Solana's had a nice boost, up from $19.55 to $22. And what else is happening? Flow down 8%. Other than that, it's just kind of a bit of a pullback from the green that we saw last week. So, not much happening there either. Nothing really sticking out. Upland, very flat on the 90-day averages, down smidge on both the transaction volume and the trading volumes. Unique active wallets, again, not much happening there. Floating around the 59,000 unique active wallets over the week. And what do we got? A bit over 3,900
That's actually not bad.
properties. Yeah, I mean,
there's no city release, there's no big things happening. I think that the Upland Kingdoms, Uplandia, and some of these other experiences that are being brought in are helping to keep the market steady.
Yeah.
So good job.
Yeah.
The fudders like to say that it's dead, it's all crashed and burned, but you got nearly 60,000 weekly wallets. That's pretty damn good if you ask me, compared to every other metaverse that's out there.
Yeah.
So, glass half full, glass half empty. Don't forget, you can refill the glass, you numbnuts. numb nuts, I should say. I should be plural there. shouldn't I?
Their glasses have forever holes in them that drip at the bottom. So no matter how full it gets, it's always going to leak.
Ah, there you go.
Cheesisms. Cheesism.
Cheesisms. All right. Well, there's not a whole lot happening in the city markets that we cover. Flat here, there, and everywhere. I've given up on the USD out game for the time being because I've got some UPX savings targets I want to get to before I play that game. Again, I'll probably going to look at LA next. The spread there's looking quite nice. Other than that, what else is happening? London, oh, look at that. 2.8% up on the UPX price and 11% up on the USD price. So 36,000 entry level there for the UPX and $18. That's quite healthy. Although they don't tend to move very fast like San Francisco and LA. They get gobbled up too. Actually, I think it might have been the Bronx. It was the Bronx or Brooklyn? One of the ones I was trying to grab the numbers for this morning. Somebody was actively gobbling them up as I was trying to get the lowest one. So
was it human?
No, it wasn't a name that I recognized, but you go to UPX land and you click on the lowest one, and I always check to see if it's a locked property or not. But it's saying it's for sale, but then when it would load, it was already purchased. So there was 3 or 4 of those. So yes, what do we have now? We have Chicago's at the floor. LA's very rapidly heading for the floor. I would not be at all surprised to see LA stuck on $3 for quite a while soon.
I don't know, because LA is now part of the Kingdoms thing. And I feel like these level 2 games are going to breathe some life in the next coming months.
Yeah, there's a lot of, you have to be careful if you're playing the buy UPX and sell for USD game. I've been caught out of a few times where if you buy an FSA property that it's the first time that's been sold, you got to hold it for some ridiculous amount of time before you can sell it for USD. I've been caught holding the bag there a couple of times. So there's still people minting FSAs in LA, and then there must be KYC'd and flipping or something, because there's a whole swag in there. The floor at $3.50 is actually incredibly weak. So yeah, I don't know. I would not be surprised to see that fall quite rapidly. Have to wait and see. Even the Bronx, the spread on that's pretty healthy too. Buy for $8,600, sell for $4.50. Just it all depends how long it sits there for. That's the big one. The spread's not as generous in San Francisco, but they disappear pretty much as soon as you list them at the floor. So let's pick your poison on those. So yes, anything else standing out to anybody? You gobbling up any floors actively? Saving, selling, trading?
I'm saving.
Everyone's always so tight-lipped when we do market news. What's going on, people?
I'm not spending just because I don't know where to spend.
Yeah, I mean,
Too many things to do.
Yeah, that's always what's coming, right? It's actually been really. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, with all these level 2s out, if you're gonna buy, there's so much more to look at now. The people have stuff on sale that's connected to either Kingdoms or Uplandia, right? Yeah. So when you make a purchase, instead of just
don't forget the X.
And the X coming up, definitely. I don't know how it's going to connect though with properties, but look, you have more to look for. I just purchased something in LA and it had a really nice farm on it with 4 peasants and a farmer, and I was like, whoa. And I got it for like 14K UPX, and I get this other really cool thing from it as well. Like it was definitely purposely done, because cheeses can be devious at times, but yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's also it's been fascinating to see if you look around and look at some of the new accounts. It's really cool to see. If you look at any of the, like most of us here, if you look at our charts, our mint net worth and our actual net worth, they're usually separated. With the mint net worth is lower than the actual net worth. But it's some of the newer players that are just gobbling up all these under mints. Theirs is completely inverted. So it's kind of very interesting to watch how that's all going to play out. And then those are the people that get more divs than their daily logins or whatever they got to collect. So it's quite fascinating. Right, that's got all I've got for market news. Over to you, Cheese Lando. What's been happening in Upland this week?
That's really good. That's like Sharknado, but Cheese Lando. The Weekend doesn't mean porn anymore, or that guy from The Weekend. The Weekend means Upland playing, Upland creating events on the weekend. Uplando, take it away.
Wow, that's from porn right to me. Thank you. I appreciate that. Is that what you said?
Have you seen that show with The Weekend in it? It's so gross.
Oh,
it's
The Idol or whatever that.
The Idol.
Yeah. No, I've just been catching the catchphrases that is the dialogue from that show, which is absolutely Pulitzer. It's definitely award-winning dialogue. Yeah. Yeah. I've just been watching that. They started building that train all the while knowing it was going to wreck and go off the track. So I think 5 or 6 episodes is all they got through with that. So very interesting in and of itself. So yes, there's been lots going on. I wanted to go back because I feel like we haven't had a Flash challenge in a long time. And so this one was called the Street View Flash Challenge, which I feel like Street View Flash, we were getting a little Crypto Jedi and Dak Flash maybe a little bit earlier in the segment when we were done pre-show, and Dak was talking about dancing at the clubs and at Limelight. And I feel like even though he said he was salsing, I could see his shirt off going, ooh, yeah, come on, woo, doing the whole 9. So yeah, Dak with your shirt off, brother. Let's go. Let's get it going. You got the glow sticks. You got the glow sticks rocking it out.
That's crypto's bye.
All right, fair.
I'm good.
Fair enough. So yes, a little themed Street View challenge. It looks like Zocats is that Tennyson or Tennyson? Emlyn, so it's Chicocello and Margarita 333, all winners over there at the Flash Challenge. If you dropped your specific Street View craziness in there. Yeah.
All right.
So we got those winners. And in terms of what we have going on, I would say the biggest winners from what we have going on. I'm going to let Dak, of course, talk about the cafes and what had going on there with the stock car races, but you guys are making a point of that. Look, this whole layer 2 part of developers bringing projects to Upland as a platform and then layer 2ing it and giving you utility for your properties and assets and things of that nature. We're all in the same boat. There's no, this is, you want to call it a co-opetition. The beautiful part about this is that everybody lands on what they land on, and the style of gameplay is that which is most acclimated to what you like doing in games. And so that's the beauty of this. I like that there's an current of competition when in reality, we're all in the same boat. We're all developing. We're all trying to put value and create the value into these properties and areas. So I love it when we see the actual volume in areas where Uplandia or Kingdoms are, anything that, Elijah's got properties going on with the Real Node LA, and Dak's got stuff with the URL. So it's all this big melting pot of things that are going on. And I dig that. So there's more, like you said, the X and others are going to be popping up, and dev shops are going to be popping up. So you'll have Lady Soccer and so many other, by the time we get to the end of the year, there should be a lot going on, and multiple revisions of all these development projects will continue their software life cycle, and there'll be so much more to do. So I know Dak's going to spill all the secrets today and tell us everything about what's going on. And if he doesn't, we'll slightly torture him in the UDU torture chambers, which we like to do with our members from time to time to make them talk. So
I'm not a member.
Well, and that's
I don't have the red hood. I'm sorry.
That's what we like to do, though, is we take those non-members and then we force you into membership, and we force you to put on the red robes and sing our chants. Really, no.
You
we
don't
really
have
do
to
that.
be a member. You could just be a sacrifice.
Yeah, you're sacrificed. Yeah, you're sacrificed. We come together to sacrifice the body of Dak. Yeah, it's all that. So I'm just kidding. We would never do that. We may take an ear or a finger only,
Yeah.
but we would never the full body. Yeah, never.
We would stuck in the middle with you, but
Yeah.
not the death. Yeah,
That's right. Very Reservoir Doggish in that. So yeah, look, it's all fun. We just have a good time with everybody, and it's really about if you have a project, if you see other people that have projects, reach out to them. This is not a closed door group. It is there. We've learned all the way through from the past about how best to help establish how the groups want to move forward, be it in a development in a layer 2 or a node or any types of meta ventures or help. It takes a lot to put this all together. It is not simply waving your magic wand and these assets appear. It takes a team to do it. And two things, and then I'll cut it or open it up for questions. But there is something about the neighborhood ratings, and it was going on about how Manhattan kind of has this approach at the neighborhoods in Manhattan kind of have this approach, right? Because Manhattan's done really well in the neighborhood ratings. They did their 2, what was it, Hell's Kitchen, and Chelsea. We had one other. Chelsea, what was it? Yep. Chelsea, yeah. And so they show up, but Manhattan's one of the original opening, areas, cities. And so I think that those who own Manhattan, because it's so sparsely, spread out, you may only own one property in a neighborhood. If that, we kind of look at Manhattan as its overall as a node. The whole island is its own node. So we help out when we can and drop it even, drop it in. Yeah. What's that?
Drop it even hotter.
Yeah. Well, we don't have a Discord like Shaq had said. There's not a Discord or anything of that nature, but we just utilize the channel that is in the Upland Discord, which is just Manhattan. And so we do it all there. Hey, what's going on, guys? Yeah, let's build out over here. Woo, let's go. So it's really actually a very efficient use of many of the people that are on the Discord. So outside of that, I look for good things. We are turning the corner after we past July, which is halfway through the month. You're going to be on the downward slope of 2023. The steep in-hill or D-hill climb is going to be happening. So we're going to be picking up a lot of steam, and there's going to be a lot of things coming in. If I missed anything, Morecheese, is there anything you had any questions, or anybody else, Ben? Any questions?
You're saving the weekend thing for Dak, right?
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yes, I am totally saving that. Yeah, for Dak. Right. I think you said Dak's a horror.
It was the race. It was the stock car race. It was
huge. Yeah, the stock car race. Yes. Absolutely. Last thing I will say too is, there will be many things, just like Dak. Dak has things that he wants to say, he cannot say, or he is waiting for that time to be able to say, I understand that full-fledged completely. There are, it is the excitement. It is not a show of we know more than you, we're better than you. The bottom line here, because I know Dak and I know other people who are in this situation, it is not to have some hierarchy position. It is the work that some don't see. Dak's been working with URL for what, buddy? Months and months and months and months. And the same with a lot of different projects. And when they have the capability or the ability to put it all out there for everybody to consume, then that's what they do. So support your local layer 2 projects, support your players and your people. If you want to get involved, direct message, don't feel like you can't. We're open to having that. Maybe your skill sets work directly with somebody else. Appreciate you all. Back to you, Chalando.
Yes, Dak has dropped a phrase there. You got to have aggressive patience. I like that one.
Yeah, it's good.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, that's hot. I didn't see that.
Yes, and you have to wait months and months and months and months.
Yeah, that has been my statement motto for Upland success: aggressive patience.
That's a good one. It certainly sums things up nicely. All right, you forgot to do one thing, Uplando. If somebody's interested in a block explorer at a good deal, where should they go? What should they do?
Oh, as a matter of fact, I just had some new listings over at H&M in Fresno, California, right there. Keep your eyes over in that Riverfront Park shopping mall because you may see some different color dots show up on the map. Watch out. So we've got a few new entries into that area. We've built up that area. Myself, Lucas78, both have Block Explorer shops in there, and there are Meta Ventures over there. I know Crypto is over there. So is Blockland Rarities. We have a few dev shops that are going to be landing, putting their shingle above their door. Just had a No.109 first mint dropped into the Block Explorer shop. Sold some ducks, sold a ninja duck and some other ducks. I know people are looking for ducks of all duck kind. You can find them over there. And new areas for Uplandia as well. So you'll start to see new openings. Of course, famously, we have Morecheese in the Bronxdale getting ready to drop with her original artwork that is amazing. It's got some great stuff evolving quite nicely. But yeah, that's all the things.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that. And that brings us over to TB. Hey there, mate.
Hello. Welcome
Hello.
to another exciting week of Metaventure news, as I'm going to start calling it now, because it's
I like
progressed
it.
into basically being that.
Makes sense.
Mostly on account of my number of Metaventures that I have. Let's start off with the unexpected one, I guess, which is the NFL legits. There's been a lot of movement on them this week. I don't know what has caused that, if I'm honest. I can only hypothesize that either they've become cheaper than FIFA legits, and so people have suddenly started buying them to use as swapsies things, or there's something interesting coming up that might be produced by Upland that somebody knows about other than me. So if anybody knows anything or would like to contribute to
I think it was
the
Shaq.
mystery,
Shaq
I'd love
happened
to
to
know.
legits.
Well,
That's the
if,
FIFA.
in the indirect way that TV said, where FIFA legits have gotten more expensive, and so now they're buying NFLPA legits because they're cheaper.
Oh.
Yeah. I think Shaq's happened to legits, and she hasn't even released her product yet. So that's
It's
going to be
coming out.
interesting to see what happens when that pops in. We'll be keeping a close eye on that. I think I'm tracking July 20th. I'm sure Shaq will let me know if I'm wrong. So that will be an interesting week to monitor the legits market for sure.
Oh, show. I'm sorry.
This is it's 10 o'clock at night and I'm tired.
I know, I love it.
for
I
the
absolutely
accents
love
time.
it.
I haven't done any American or Australian yet. I'm trying to keep it that way.
I wore my Mario shirt for Ben because he does such a great Italian accent.
Yes.
I'll leave that one to him. I did hear it. It was definitely better than anything I could come up with. So.
Yes. Mon and Cheese Show. Check it out.
Yes, I did have a listen. It was very entertaining. On the football shops, there is still plenty of movement on the FIFA football stuff. There's just, and it's on the up as well. We're seeing sort of upwards of 100 a day, which is significantly more than previous weeks. But it's nothing compared to how those NFL PA ones have been shifting this week. I've certainly, interestingly enough, having been selling them to people for a long time, I've now started picking up some FIFA legits. So I guess I'm kind of contributing to that problem. It's nice now we have more than one store in Vegas, so I can actually buy things from somebody else rather than not being able to buy things that are listed in my own store. So that is handy. It is one downside of the Meta Ventures for anyone who's waiting on one is that you can't buy things from your own Meta Venture. So if somebody lists something that's a really good deal, you see it, but you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's a bit of a shame. Yes. Anyhow, Block Explorers, still not really much happening in the Block Explorer world. I guess there haven't really been any big new ones released of late. I think the duck craze seems to have died down a little bit. So I don't know if anybody managed to collect all of those in the end. I didn't go for it, but they were pretty cool. And then still labeled on the Upland site as outdoor decor, but map assets are seemingly not in high demand at the moment. We're sort of looking at mid to low teens per day, and I'm sure that Ben can speak to that as the owner of a factory and a meta venture that sells them. But haven't seen a ton of movement from my side.
Yeah, well, we haven't stocked. We've got 4 showrooms now for Samurai Aquatics, and I've only just this week started stocking those. They have been quite empty for a while. So, and my gosh, that is a laborious process. I think I've spent 10 hours so far, and I've probably moved maybe over 100, 150, something like that. But I've still got over 1,000 to move. So yes.
Well, we gotta get those cargo vans working. Get some workers out there.
Yeah, I've been asking. Come on, let's get the transportation mechanic because I'm jack-a-moving these things one at a time. Yes.
Yeah, I can see how that would be a bit tedious.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be an extra step though, Ben. I don't think it's going to be a convenient step. It's going to be, you have to move all these things onto the truck. The truck goes there. When the truck arrives there, you're going to have to move them all back.
Yeah. I had a bit of a whinge. Yeah, I think you did right. It's going to be worse. I had a bit of a whinge about when I was moving inventory from the San Francisco factory to the LA showroom. The LA showroom's completely empty. So you push it in to move it over there, but it lands the decor item off the map. I'm like, why? That's just one extra step I got to do every single time. I'm like, why?
One extra step in the Bronx as well. When I put something in my shop, everything disappears. I have to refresh to put the next one in. Yeah, I don't know what's happened over the last couple of months because I have had a big gap waiting to move stuff. The amount of white screen crashes now is out of control, and there's also a weird glitch where you move something and it throws up an oops error message, but then it won't display any 3D assets, so you got to force crash and you got to refresh it every single time. It's not fun. No. But like you keep saying, careful what you wish for. No good deed goes unpunished. So
maybe we'll be lucky. Maybe they'll create some sort of part of the system where you can list your things and where you want them sent to, and then people can come in and bid on it, or vice versa, and it's automated once they click yes. I'm going to be the positive influence on this situation. But
well, one of the things I raised, one of the points I raised in the outdoor decor or the map assets better channel is that there is an automated system in place. Upland uses an automated system for themselves and their partners, where when their item has finished manufacturing in their factory, it automatically gets moved to their showroom and set up. Like, why don't we have access to that? That'd be nice.
Yeah.
So hopefully the transportation mechanics is something like that. Hopefully you're not loading these things onto your semi-trailer one at a frickin' time. You should be able to multi-select. Yes, because my gosh, sorry, I didn't mean to take over this with my whining.
Look at D-Tech's profile picture.
Yes, that sums it up quite nicely.
Join us, Stack.
Join us, Stack.
That is good.
Yes. All right, sorry, mate. Sorry to derail you with that.
No, you're fine. I'm pretty much done anyway. Cars stuff, obviously, Dax here, so I won't go overkill on the cars, but there hasn't really been any movement in the car market at all this last week. Like, my showroom has been well and truly avoided by almost everybody. So
what about cars?
I think it's like just what's the craze for this week, basically, like the legits, because of the level 2 coming up is the craze. So it'll just like go in segments.
FOMO waves.
Yeah. You mentioned Cart Stack. I mean, I think carts have been the one that has been moving a little bit, just because it grants you access to the beta version of the carts racing, which you can't get without it right now. So there is some value in those. I had 2 at one point, and I bought one and sold it on and did pretty well out of it, sort of prior to the go-kart racing championships that Matsuda put together. But I only have one now, and I'm keeping it for me. So I can't really speak to how well they've been selling in terms of what they've actually gone for. I will say somebody was trying to sell me one for $100 this week, and I said no.
Wow.
Just because I'm not convinced that with my way of doing business, where I'll buy in dollars and resell in UPX, I want to make sure whatever I pay in dollars, I get double in UPX.
Yeah.
So if I buy it for $100, I want to sell it for 200,000 UPX, and I'm not sure whether that would or not.
And which kind of car is this? Which
the go-karts, the Genesis go-kart.
Ah, all right.
Yeah. So that's not to say that it's not worth that, but I have to assume that the person trying to sell it to me was struggling to get rid of it at that price point. So there is definitely, if you're looking for a go-kart, there's definitely people trying to sell them, and I think you'd probably pick one up for what I'd argue is quite a fair price if you're keen to get into that market right now.
Yeah, I just imagine you talking to these people like in porn stars. I haven't said that word in a while, so I'm just gonna pop it in there. It's like I gotta frame it, I gotta fix it up, I gotta put it on the wall.
Honestly, my DMs are quite amusing, but it almost gets tedious after a while. I'm like, it's like I get a lot of messages every day from people just wanting to like basically get dollars out of me, and I'm like, yeah, cool, but you have to do it in game, and this is my price. And then most people are like, nope. And every now and again, someone's like, sure, okay. So there's a line to be found there, and I've stopped negotiating now, and I've just started coming straight out with, this is my price, take it or leave it, because the energy expended versus the gain is almost not worth it at times.
Yeah,
I could see a show for you. I could see like TB porn stars, where you make a show where people you go through your emails, whatever messages, and you're like going back and forth with these people, like I can't do that. Like, what can you do? And it's like going back and forth. You're like, oh, what are they gonna land on?
That would be quite fun. I was thinking of doing one where you like try and trade it up. So you start with $100 USD and see who the first person to like turn that into $200 through trading and things would be. But that's going to require a lot more time, and I don't have much time right now. So.
Yes, that is the kicker, the old time. And of course, all of that has to be factored into your pricing as well, for sure.
Yeah.
So are you giving away that idea, TB?
If you want it, we can. You can take
idea?
it. Give me.
Not me. I don't have time for it. I don't have time either.
Which idea?
I'll co-host.
Which idea?
Your
He
idea.
said that he didn't have time for it. We won't repeat it. Watch the show.
Wait, wasn't it my idea to have the show?
I will
for
say
this?
I've been trying to do it myself.
You
in the
said
background.
you should have an act. Sorry, Cheese. You said you should have a show about this, and then he said I was thinking of a show like this, and I said then that was a good idea. And anyway, watch the show.
So his Pete was better than mine.
Pete. Oh my gosh, yes, that is a good phrase.
Thank you, Dak.
Come up with the flaw with my the flaw with my show idea is that I've been trying to practice it in the background, and as yet I failed to even come close.
All right, we'll have to keep our eyes out for that one. All right, we know Dak's been chomping at the bit to fill us in on what's been happening with the URL and racing. Take it away, Dak.
So in racing news, we had over the weekend, there was a watch party that was hosted by URL in the Upland Cafes in Rio. And it was a lot of fun because it was last minute. But the Upland team was really good about, having us participate and bring us in. We knew that the technology is being tested and everything. And so when I was talking to X1, he's like, the technology, it's still being worked on. It's not perfect yet. I'm like, oh, no. URL has always been ahead of the curve. We're willing to take a risk and jump in and just do crazy stuff. So let's try it. And it was awesome. I crashed 13 times. So, yes. Did I crash? Yes. Did everyone else crash? Yes. Did people have a hard time getting in? Yes. But the stream worked great. We had overflow rooms that people were being sent to. That meant that more than 50 people were joining. And what I found amazing is that overall people still kept trying to get in. More, like a lot of times if you go into something and you crash 2 or 3 times, you're like, forget this, I'm out. But people kept trying to get back in. It was awesome. I really loved it. what was amazing is the Brazilian community really came out and they really enjoyed it. And it was fun it was the first time I actually watched Stock Car Pro Brazil, and their format for racing, I really enjoyed. They got 2 races in like an hour. It was crazy. So what they did is they had a timed amount, and then pretty much you have to get to first place within that time. Once the time runs out, you have one final lap to get your best position. And then they go right into the next race from where you ended, kind of thing. And so I don't know if that's typical of all Stock Car Pro, or because I actually have never followed Stock Car Pro before, but now I'm kind of like hooked. I really, really enjoyed the format. And so I think that that's going to be fun. I don't know if people noticed this, but when they were in the cafe, they, Upland dressed it up with like a theme and everything. But one of the things they had in the centerpiece was 4 different models of stock cars. And I'm like, well, those models look like models that could be sold. And we know that Stock Car Pro will be selling vehicles in Upland. So it was kind of cool to maybe get a preview of what those cars might look like. So if you haven't seen it, I think the Rio Cafe, maybe other cafes, may still be dressed up with the watch party decorations and the Stock Car Pro. So check it out and you can see what the models might look like. Then what else? I was really excited that Upland invited us to participate, because one of the things I've been talking about is that I really do want to have racing cafes on URL sanctioned tracks. And so this was a great way to experiment, to see how it works, to see what we might be able to do with it, to see what some of the issues are. I was talking to X1 during the hosting event, and they were telling us about how much feedback they're, how all of the information they're collecting on the experience, what some of the trouble issues were. A lot of people were seeing hockey pucks and mooses when they loaded in. They were getting information on why the Ready Player Me avatar wasn't loading the way, right away, or why people were seeing that one thing. And, the prioritization of bandwidth in terms of the stream versus the Ready Player Me avatar and so forth. And so it was kind of interesting just to hear about like some of the background of how they're tweaking and working and trying to improve the cafe experience. So I really thought that was great. And I do see a great potential for cafes. I think that we're going to see comedy clubs. We're going to see just, nice social cafes. We're going to see racing cafes. I think it's just going to be a lot of fun. So definitely keep an eye out for that. And I'm looking forward to being able to do more watch parties for some other Stock Car Pro races. That was actually a lot of fun. Any questions from the folks here?
Yes, what are you not telling us, Dak?
Shit.
In other news, URL also announced that the Pro Series season will begin, and our Pro Series season will be the S1E. So for all of those that didn't have S1Rs, and obviously that pool is very limited to just 50 and I guess now 100 with the 2023s, you will be able now to get in on an S1. And the catch is there's only 12 spots and then 2 alt spots. So, and the test drivers have the opportunity, if they have an S1, to actually participate. And so those 12 spots are probably going to go pretty fast. I think we have 5 spots already taken. So we only really have 7 spots left for racing. And Morecheese just called dibs on one. So, make that 6. So if you have an S1 and you want to race, do it. It's 80,000. So you have to prepay the season. It's an 8-week it's a 10-week season with 8 races in those 10 weeks. And because I go out and get sponsorships, and so if you're looking to sponsor the URL season, we will have again the gold sponsor and the silver sponsor. The gold sponsor will get the named channel. They will get the 30-second commercial, which will air multiple. And they obviously get prominent placement. So it's a pretty good package for gold sponsors. Silver sponsors they get their logos on marketing materials, and they also get introduced at the beginning of each race day. So there is also some benefit there, plus exposure, and every now and then, depending on what the silver sponsors are doing, they can jump in and do different things too. So secret, so that's our secret, sorry. So gold sponsor, silver sponsor, Series Pro season starting, getting kicked off soon. For gold sponsors, there's only 8, since we have 8 races. That means that I think 3 of them have already been claimed, so we have 5 spots left. Silver sponsorships is up to 15, but up to the day of race day, we will be able to collect silver sponsorships. Anything after the first race day, we stop collecting, because at that point, the prize purses are set for the drivers. And so then we know exactly what came in, and the drivers will be able to know what they're going to get based on their placement. Like we did with the test season, every driver wins a little something each race. It depends on where they come in. But I think last season, just about every driver made UPIX because of the sponsorships we were able to get. So it actually is a really good way, if you have an S1E, to monetize it. So get back into URL, get in there, let us know what's going on. And you guys are distracting the hell out of me.
What?
Dak,
Thank you, TB, with the good question. The dates and time, yes.
nope, go ahead.
You suck.
Trying to frazzle you so you'll let it
No,
slip.
no,
know,
I'm
right?
not. He was just about to answer. I was going to ask a question about that. He's probably going to answer.
Yeah, so the days and times for races. So normally what I do is, once we have the 12 drivers, I'm going to work with them on scheduling. Because of the fact that we really have racers around the world, scheduling these race competitions gets a little crazy. And I can't really do it until I'm talking to the drivers and we're able to work out a time that all of them are available, because there is a commitment. And, you know, since they're paying up front, I want to make sure they can race.
Yeah.
So, you know, I will not be able to announce the dates and times we're racing until we have the drivers and we're able to work out a time. That's what I did with the test season. That's why we ended up racing on Fridays at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. UTC.
Yeah, it's a nightmare trying to do scheduling. I've got a question. The 80,000 UPEX entry fee, is that before fees, after fees?
After fees.
After fees. So
yes, you have to cover the tax.
okay, yeah. All right. Sounds good.
I think that's what you mean, right?
Yeah. Because the seller
Yeah.
has fees on their end, plus you've got 5% on your end. So it's essentially plus 10%.
And that's over in the URL
Before I did-
Discord. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think before I did the plus 5%, but I think if you cover your taxes, it's fine. Because then what I do is the taxes come out of what I end up getting.
Yeah.
Right, the 5% that comes out, and then I define the price purse for the season based on the actual UPIX available.
Yeah. Yes.
So yeah, so only the 5% needs to be covered.
Okay. All right. Any more questions for the DAC man before we
Dak 2, what is the channel that people would go into for the S1 races that's coming up for the 80K in URL?
So they can come in and just they can come into URL and say they want to be a driver. Pretty much what I've done is I've assigned, and actually I think you can self-assign the driver role. And then what I end up doing is I'll do kind of mentions to drivers, you know, to the @driver role. And if you want to be selected, pretty much it's going to be first come, first serve. So the first 12 people to say, hold my spot, I'm holding your spot.
Okay. And then, okay, so do you either want to sponsor a racer or you want to be a racer in just general chat over in URL?
Yeah, and actually, there's a difference between sponsoring a racer and being a racer and sponsoring their season. So URL sponsors come to me, drivers come to me, or Mass Chef. And if you want to sponsor a driver, that's different. So each driver, and I said this in the driver channel, each driver, or not in, I think one of the channels, I don't remember which one, but each driver will be able to have one sponsor, because we do a driver roster image where we kind of show and present who the drivers are and who they've been sponsored by. So each driver will be able to have one sponsor, and that's to help offset the cost for their entry fees.
That's a great idea.
And then lastly,
Yeah,
Dak,
no, it worked well.
Yeah, I like this whole thing. Dak, I want to let you know, I did see in Upland General just seconds ago, there was someone there whom did receive their racetrack approval. I just want to run this down really quickly. It said, thank you for your patience. You have one active application under the track name blank. It is almost ready. We will keep you posted if we have any issues. I think that's from submitting a Speedway application, right? Not that they've been let known that they are going to get approved, right?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about tracks being approved yet. As far as I know, they're still going through the QA process. Now, I think that what's going to happen is we're going to start to have trickles of approvals coming in next week or two, probably. You never know.
Aggressive patience, mate.
Yep.
Aggressive.
Thank you, Dak.
Aggressive patience.
All right. Thank you very much, Dak. So, yeah, make sure if you're interested in anything to do with sponsoring races or getting involved directly, get on over to the URL server and check it on out. Or you could always just find the Dak man. He's here, there, and everywhere as well.
Well, in general chat, I already see TV's already claimed the spot. Uplando's claimed the spot. Morecheese, claim your spot on there so that it's public record.
Lock it in.
Lock it in, Morecheese.
All right. On that note, we're heading on over to the Drop It Like It's Hot boys. Are you there, Rob and Joe? I believe we got Joe in today too, don't we? Let me have a look here.
Yep, I'm here.
Hey.
Hi.
Well,
welcome to episode number 35. And I guess we're kind of getting equal to the Fast and Furious film series by now.
What happens to the song?
We're not, well,
You move fast now?
well, I was trying to tell a joke, I guess, first.
Still.
Anyway, welcome to episode number 35 of
Drop It Like It's Hot. It's not as good. Oh my God.
You had the
Sorry.
boys dancing up there. I saw them. They were looking good.
I skipped that part in my thing. So anyway, so on to our first drop, which is a dandy. Stranger Things Funko Digital Pops come out Thursday at 11 p.m. PST and has all the gang: Nancy, Mike, 11, Barb, Will, Lucas, Dustin. The physical redeemables of the group, starting with the Grail, and that is of 1106 available. And that is a 3-headed dragon, which is the Grail. And the legendaries, which have 3,000, are Dustin in his Viking helmet, Lucas with a sword, Medieval Mike with a shield, Will the Wise with a heart staff. And quite honestly, my favorite royalty in a while is Freddie as rocker Eddie Munson with guitar. It's very nice, very nice. And 3,600 of those available. And so if you're into being upside down or into Demogorgons, I can't say it. This one's for you. It's kind of weird though that the main character from Stranger Things is named 11. And they normally have drops on Tuesday, which would be the 11th. But for some reason, they're doing it on the Thursday, the 13th. Very strange. So, didn't Upland get started while they were watching Stranger Things or something?
I don't know that story.
Yeah. Yeah, like Monopoly and Stranger Things. Yeah.
Yes.
Dirk was saying that. Exactly. Okay, so the next couple things I'm talking about aren't really drops, but kind of they are. So on Atomic Hub, they opened a multi-chain beta platform, and you can now connect with NFTs from Immutable X, like Gods Unchained cards. And I actually found something kind of crazy on the EOS chain. Just looking through it, I hadn't checked it out too much, but it's a project called Upland is Live. I added the link in the description, and it's crazy because it's like directly related. It describes the game Upland in its about me collection thing. And I'm not sure if there's any other connection. I mean, obviously the imagery and all that. I was looking at it. It's been like $55,000 in sales overall. Yeah, I put the link in the description, and you can check that one out and look at all the other things by going to atomichub.io. It's the previous one was wax.atomichub.io, so you basically just remove the wax. And then it's still in beta, so keep that in mind as you peruse and shop.
And mirror it to your computer, as well as control it from your computer, which then allows you to record the screen, do live demos, etc. So let's get started. Now, the first thing you'll have to do is you'll need to...
Whoa. That was AI took over for a second there, Joe.
There you go. That lovely AI loves me.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, is that me? What's going on here? Okay. So yeah, check it out. It's pretty interesting. It's kind of cool to see all these other things. There's a lot of exploring to do. And the next thing I wanted to talk about was Floating Farms project by our very own Upland Puppet, aka Marty's dad. It's an awesome project, connects NFTs to your Upland properties. And he's been showing me, or in Vegas, he was showing me some of the new tanks and different stuff that he's got going on. It's very cool. I recommend you check it out, and we'll cover it in more detail in the upcoming episode.
Very nice.
No, I've got a question for you, Joe and Rob, really quick. I didn't know if you were over there, but could you guys confirm or deny the fact that Funko is making up about 90% of the transaction volume on Wax? Is that true, or do you not see it that way?
As far as as far as the overall numbers go, 90%, I don't know. That would be interesting to look at, but they are the anchor at this point. It seems like they have been the anchor. There was a lot of promise with like Topps baseball cards and Garbage Pail Kids and Street Fighter and different IP in the past. But it seems like, yeah, the holdout and most successful and the ones who are sticking with it are Funko for sure, Upland.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Next is Boneheads are dropping their crypto lobotomy packs, at 4:44, and that's Eastern time, and that's going to be on Thursday. And all his works of art's a dynamite, like
Did
that
he
one you
just
have.
give birth to his head? Oh, he's playing basketball with it. Never mind.
Yeah. I liked your idea better. But yeah, I was going to mention I like that basketball head. I need to buy one. If I had some wax, I would. It's coming out.
If I can
Those
get
are coming out.
If I can get it, I'll get you on, buddy. If I can.
Well, thank you.
No,
I'd love it. Exactly. And then Drawn Company has something delicious to look at. They're doing a Karen burger promo, and I don't know. Everything they do is hilarious.
Yeah, I really love that Drawing Company project. The guy's so funny. He's got the dildo cons, Karen burgers.
Karen burgers. Awesome. Can we see some of these?
Yeah, there you go. He's got Ben sharing it right now.
They're perfection.
Karen burger. Wait, I was picturing like a crazy lady asking for the manager burger.
That's what I was too, but I it's definitely aligned with that, and there'll definitely be some jokes and involved, and maybe there will be the ultimate Karen manager. I don't know.
Huh.
I want one of them disco burgers.
Disco burger. Yeah.
But yeah, I gotta love the humor. And I mean, I've liked President simply because of that reason. But anyway, so that comes out, and that's Friday at 1900 UTC, 11 a.m. PST for those Karen burgers.
All right. Okay. And at 1800 UTC or 11 a.m. California time on Saturday, we have a drop from SAS at Cat Stickers. I got the last drop. It was a little guy named Nermal. Nermal is based on someone from Discord named Hayden George. It's their real cat. It's eating a little yogurt popsicle. And if you purchase, because his cat loves yogurt, if you purchase this NFT, you can actually see the in real life face is the unlockable content of the NFT. So I know, we have some cat lovers, so you can get on her list to have your cat made into an NFT if you want it. And then one thing during the meeting here, I noticed Jedi had asked about the portal from Upland to OpenSea. And I kind of looked at what's going on over there. And although it seems like it's working and there's 61 unique owners, there's only about 4 sales and 3 of them are around $5 each. And there's one anomaly sale, ironically to Droopy, for 0.025 ETH or $47. So there's not much movement, but it's working and it's there.
Yay. Anyway, our homies over at Tales of the you were done, right?
I was. Sorry about that.
Okay. Our homies over at Tales of the Crypto have their normal Sunday mystery drop. And speaking of funny, since we're kind of on that subject, is one of the ones I bought recently. I thought it was funny. Obviously, they deal with a lot of zombies and such, but I like their one. It says, "Oh shit, stairs." So anyway, I thought that was pretty humorous. But
does that have to do with when someone says "oh shit, stairs"? That reminds me of the Ed 209 from RoboCop. You remember that? It was like really awesome freaking robot that could kill anything, but stairs. It's like
that's good.
Anyway, thanks for putting up with my dad jokes, and thanks for listening to our 35th episode of
Drop It Like It's Hot. Drop It Like It's Hot.
Thank you. That was half-assed, but I liked it.
I feel half-assed today, to be fair. No, I feel I started the show really good, but now I feel half-assed. Sorry about that.
I'm teasing you. Thank you guys.
We'll try and help drag you out of that. As I said at the start of the show, we're gonna just have a bit of a speculation on what we think is coming up next. Last week we talked about that. The Women's World Cup is coming up very soon, and there's cities all over the place in both Australia and New Zealand for that. Are we going to see full city releases, or are we going to see, is it LaSalle? Is that what it was for FIFA? It was one of those Arab countries, wasn't it? Where it was just a very tiny
Qatar.
release, and it was only via, Qatar, that was it. And you could only get those via a competition. Yeah. Is that what we're going to see for this? It would make sense from a business standpoint. Yeah, well, it'd make sense from a business. If I was an Upland business manager, I'd say, let's bleed the community of their UPEX before we release Tokyo. So let's release 1 or 2 of these FIFA cities. That's what I'd do, but I'm pretty evil, so I don't know. Any speculation? What's coming up next? What do you think?
Let's see. I don't think Tokyo is going to be next. It's going to come up, but it's not going to be next.
Yeah, I did. I went back this morning. Oh, sorry. What were you going to say?
I was going to say we're getting close to August, and that's when the women's FIFA is coming out, right?
What's
the women's
end
soccer?
of? It's 8 days away, my time. It's July 20th, I believe. So it's only a bit over a week. So that doesn't leave a lot of time. So I went and had a look here at the old Upland website and had a look at what were we doing this time last year, because Upland tends to follow repeated patterns of behavior. So we did the Freedom Fest. That was the 4th of July thing. We had a NFLPA memento sale. I don't think there's anything kicking on the radar there. Standard challenges, blah, 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 Master Builders, Spark Week, the Great Racetrack Challenge, Factories Quality of Life. But look at that. Ding, ding, ding. Rio. So Rio was released, July 21st, or at least the announcement for it. And that was, that was the big mic drop at the end of Genesis Week. And then not long after, Rio was officially announced. So who knows? We might see Tokyo announced sooner rather than later.
You don't think they'll do Australia before Tokyo? Just like Qatar, just that one area where they're going to be?
Oh, yeah, I don't know, because there's so many cities as part of it. That's why I
Oh,
couldn't
that's what
believe
you
how
were
many cities.
telling
Remember, I said there's
me.
Brisbane, Melbourne, Adelaide, and then there's 3 or 4 in New Zealand. Yeah, it would make sense that they do a very limited kind of competition giveaway to just kind of crack the seal in some of those cities, perhaps for maybe later future expansion. I think they're cutting it pretty fine to do full city releases at this stage.
But if
Yeah.
they're tiny ones, they could do a few. Like if they're
Yeah.
tiny ones like Qatar, they could do all of those 4 at once, and you pick your Australian place to go.
Yeah, if I had to bet, that I would bet that that's what they'll do ahead of the Tokyo release. But yeah,
And you'll be going for Brisbane a little bit.
I've never heard of a place called Brisbane. I've never heard of that. I don't know what that is.
Brisbane.
Yes,
Brisbane.
it's not Melbourne. It's Melbourne. Brisbane.
I'm from New York. What do you want from me?
I want your Australian accent to be accurate. Yes. Shaka
He
said in
won't be
chats.
happy until I get an Australian accent, mate.
That's right. And then my ears will bleed. So there's no winning. Shaka said, if the women's FIFA is not a normal city release, it could be completely separate and have no impact on a normal city release. Yeah, I think it would make sense to do it as like a giveaway kind of FIFA legit competition. I think so. I mean, it makes sense.
That's a good
but
idea, Shaq.
who knows? Who knows? Anybody else want to speculate wildly, or will we see something totally out of the blue? Are we going to have the stock cars be released to buy first? Who knows? No. My gosh, you're a secretive bunch. Even when we're talking about wild speculation.
Wheeler?
This is the show for biased opinions. No.
Oh, you're killing me.
Come on, man. Let it
Orlando,
slip.
Make it slip. Make it
Let
slip.
it slip. Let it slip.
Yeah,
are we talking about?
I don't think it's I don't know that there will be a secret city outside of the announced Tokyo. I don't think so. It would be so I could see there being assets being dropped like stock cars or maybe the soccer, the legits, maybe something or X. You never know. We don't know when these projects are going to pop something in, so it could happen. As far as the new city, I just outside of Tokyo, I don't see it. But
not the whole city of Orlando, like bits of it, just the areas like Qatar, just the bits that will have the FIFA.
Now that I could see, see, just like a Lusail area that's got X amount, like less than 100 or whatever. Yeah, that could be cool. That could be something that they do. That I would see. Yes, that would not surprise me. Yeah,
that's what Ben and I were saying.
Right, so FIFA,
I didn't understand that. Sorry.
Yeah, the FIFA World Cup will have, even though it has multiple cities within New Zealand and Australia, it usually has a key host city, right? So do we know what the main host city is?
Last week we looked at it was the FIFA website, and it didn't really say anything like that. It just outlined all of them. It just had a whole big list of them. So unless there was something I was missed, we did gloss over it quickly. So maybe somebody could fill us in on that. But yeah, I was quite taken aback by how many cities are actually involved in it. So yes, it's going to be.
Well, the kickoff is in Eden Park in Auckland.
Yeah.
And that seems to be the main, actually, I guess where's the championship going to be played?
Yeah, that might be the clue where the final's been played.
Yeah.
All right. Well, no matter what your speculation is, you're going to have some UPEX in the bank because there's a lot going on if you want to get involved in these things. What's your saving strategy? Anybody want to put it out there? How do you go about saving? Famously, we've tried all sorts of things within the UDU, with scroll clubs and whatnot.
I'm sorry. Before you do that, real quick, can I just say the finale is going to take place August 20th at Olympic Stadium in Australia, Sydney.
Yeah. So who knows?
So Sydney is probably, and that would make sense based on the cities that they've been releasing for countries.
But that Sydney's a massive. That's got to be a tier 1 city. So that's a huge release.
But they just released a small piece.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Boulder said if he doesn't log in, then he saves. Well, up until a point, and then you lose your earnings. Yes.
Yeah, you lose your spark.
How about you, Cheese? How do you save?
I I get myself a meta venture, and I get myself a couple of partners that I have to pay off, so I have to hold my money for 10 days.
So you got that long-term strategy. How about you,
Ben, do you
Upland?
remember-
You're
What?
famous for banking sends. How do you bank your UPX?
Well, I've been doing a poor job of that lately. I really have. I did some buying and did some things, but yeah, I think it goes back to that. I think it was like the 1970s when people were trying to stop smoking, and they literally sold a package that had a rubber band with a little tag on it. And every time you thought about smoking, you snapped Dax got it. You would smack yourself. You would pull the rubber band, and it would smack you on the wrist. So I think that could be definitely you buy the legit. Right, the don't resist to spend your UPX, and it gets a little rubber band, and you get with the NFT, you get the little rubber band, and then you can snap yourself every time you think about buying. So there's a free opportunity for somebody that wants to do a business with that.
Yes. Anybody else? How do you save? No. Well, I have.
As I said earlier, I get analysis paralysis.
Yeah. So you just kind of scare yourself
Too much.
into. It's almost the positive side of FOMO, that you know that there's so much going on that you don't want to spend because you're going to miss out.
I
Exactly.
save by messaging Ben asking if I should buy something.
And I say, no, that's shit. Yes. Yes. But you don't listen to me. That's the problem.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't
He
listen to
buys it
any of us.
anyway. Yes. Yeah. For the longest time, I have kind of publicly shamed myself. So I did this back in the old UPX. I think it's TML's old server that he used to run. I did like a save 500,000 UPX in 5 weeks challenge, and I like to be publicly accountable. So I can give you some insights into how I'm doing that currently. That's within the UDU server. So every night at 7 p.m. my time, I collect my dividends, and then I say if I've hit my target or not. I've set myself a target of saving all of my dividends, which is 60,000 UPX a day. And if I don't hit it, I give myself a little red X, but I'm back on track now. So I'm back in the green. So I like to be publicly accountable. That's pretty much the only way that I can save. Otherwise, yeah, I'll just spend it. So I'm aiming to have about 3 million going into Tokyo, at least, hopefully. So yes, no matter what your strategy is, try and find one. And yeah, what do you say, Cheese? You got to have a venting partner. Well, I think it helps to have savings partners as well, even if that's just accountability. Maybe somebody else can slap that rubber band or flick that rubber band at you, straight at the eyeball. Perhaps that'll get your attention. I've done that before. That's not fun.
And it'll be fun for the other person too.
Yes.
Who doesn't want to flick a rubber band at somebody's eyeball?
Yeah.
Maybe you can put your savings in escrow so you don't accidentally spend it on your savings partner account or property.
Yeah, we've done that in the UDU where we still have an escrow club where, I'd say, Cheese, look, I'm going to dump a million UPX offer on one of your properties. Please don't accept it.
I'm like,
Yeah, we do that a lot at UMC.
Yeah. And then it puts that message is always there in Cheese's account or my account, and you're always worried you're going to fat finger it, especially with Metaventures. Like the amount of messages that I reject on a day-to-day basis, just out of control. So yes, don't want to accidentally accept, because then you got to deal with all the paying back the fees and whatnot. So I don't know. All right, so we got a little bit of time left now. We have not one but 2 QIPS this week. So thank you very much to the people that sent those through. If you don't know what QIPS are, they're questions, insights, provocations, or statements. And if at any stage you've got something you want to say or you want us to talk about, you can jump on over to the link in the description, which will bring you to this page, UDU Podcast. There's just a little thing in there. I think CJ once, what did you say? How much wood would a woodchuck chuck? That gave me a giggle.
how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
With no legs or something? Yeah, I think.
Oh, with no legs.
Something like
If
that.
his name was Chuck.
If his name was Chuck. Yes. So yes, you can pop something in there and you'll get yourself a free Halloween sign.
Poor woodchuck.
Now, as I said, we have not one but 2 this week. And the first one comes from, where is it? Yes, long-term supporter and newly vetted UDU member Grizzly, who asks, Do you think
Sorry.
that arbitrage is affecting the USD market? If not, what is your insight into what might be contributing to prices decline in cities such as San Fran?
Ben, should we sing it?
What?
I'm telling all of y'all it's arbitrage.
But it's not. Correct me if I'm wrong. Arbitrage is the difference between the same product in different markets. So if I buy crypto on Binance and I send that Bitcoin to Kraken, if I can make a percentage on there, that's arbitrage. Isn't this spread? You're talking about two different markets here. You're talking about UPX to USD. Isn't it the spread between those markets? I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a dick for terminology, but don't know.
I guess it
You're
depends
right.
on what you define as a market.
Yeah.
You're right, Ben. You got it.
Oh, thanks, mate. Well, whatever it's called.
The arbitrage is, yes, you're on the same exchange. You have Bitcoin on one exchange, you buy it, you take it over to another exchange, it's selling for $500 or $600 more per Bitcoin. You sell it out over there, you do that back and forth, you arbitrage, or you're doing scalp trading. Brian knows very much. He was talking about scalp trading the other night. So you're doing that. You're doing microtransactions to scalp and earning profit off of doing that. Yeah. But it's a pay attention game. You got to really get your head wrapped around it and make sure you don't get stuck in transaction hell. So yeah, careful.
Yeah, what we're playing here is the difference between the UPX price and the USD price.
Yeah, that's
famously,
arbitrage. It is because, all right, so for me, I'm a day trader. Arbitrage is when, like, a good example is different currency markets, right? Let's say you buy something for a certain price on one currency market, and then you sell it for just a tiny bit more on another market. It's a form of arbitrage. And I know the X brought it up and they made a good point about it as well. Being the arbitrage is the items that you can buy in a shop and then sell for more inside Upland.
Yeah, but in that example, it's the same coin it's the same currency you're trading, where here we're talking about UPX. You're
UPX
buying
and USD.
UPX and USD, which is they're
Two
not
different.
the same thing.
They're not.
Yes, but
they're
overall, it's
currency.
It's the same feature. So, do you think it's affecting the USD market? Yeah, of course it is. I mean,
Yeah,
I've been doing that pretty hardcore for the last month. As I said, I'm taking a bit of a break at the moment, but I will, once I get my savings target hit for USD.
You're totally right, Cheese.
You're totally right, Cheese and Grizzly.
Thank you. Oh my God, somebody actually. Wow. All right, cool. Thank you. I don't know who said that, but
the second part is, what is your insight on what might be contributing to prices decline in cities such as San Fran? It is that. If you're talking about the USD price, that's definitely what it is within any of these cities. Like I said at the start of the show, I think LA is headed to $3, and that's purely because people are buying for UPX with dividends and selling out in USD. So I think that's pretty straightforward, that one. Unless anybody else has some insights. Prices decline. We do see price decline every now and then when one of these fudsters rage quits out. But that's usually a temporary blip, not more of the slow grind to the $3 bottom line that's currently happening.
Controller throwers, those you talking about? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. So yeah, I definitely play that game. I take full advantage of that because why the hell not? It's a property trading game and I'm going to play it. So thank you very much for that, Grizzly. A Halloween sign is on the way for you. And secondly, we have another long-time supporter of the show, and I believe he's in now, Kinda 520, who asks, when are they going to let us build the new buildings we all voted on? I've been waiting to make new builds, but I don't want to use the same old buildings. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I want to use some of DTEC's new ones and all that. We've been using the same buildings for the past, 6-8 months now?
Years.
Does anybody know anything about that? Because we voted on it, 2-3 months ago?
No, we just have to wait a little longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I actually
asked
asked
you anything then, DTEC, or?
I asked Stephanie, I think last week, and she said she doesn't know. So nobody really knows.
Up in the air. Huh.
Yeah. It's because I think the 3D team has so much stuff going on, so they're approving and making stuff, and
Right on. Yeah, I've been wondering about that.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous that we don't have a building structure that can fit on many of these smaller properties. We've been, requesting that, feedbacking that for years and years.
Okay, that's a whine of mine.
Yeah.
No disrespect to any of the designers that built these amazing structures and everything. But why does the community keep voting for these big, huge monstrosities that don't fit anywhere? Take a ton of spark to build. It's like, where are the tiny homes? Where are the ones that are going to make more sense? And why don't people vote for the ones that can fit anywhere, like the brownstones or something like that? I don't understand why the community keeps going for these massive ones.
I'll try to explain it. So the first contest, every time there was a building, it won, and all the little houses lost. So this time, for example, I went all out for just biggest buildings possible. And well, I wouldn't say it worked, because a lot of small ones won with lots of detail. Because for small house, you can make more detail. But tendency is people that are new to the game vote for big. I don't think most people who are voting understand like the consequences. So what we always asked is to have like a two thing, like a small building and a large, and a different kind of competition, which would make more sense. Like building separate, small houses separate, because when your little house goes against a building, it's very different. So I don't know, it's hard.
I like that idea a lot, because you're right. Yeah, the general masses, they're going to vote for things they don't really understand, and they're going to go for the big flashy stuff. And yeah, the tall buildings look amazing on models and everything, but the practicality of them is just not there for the community. And so I would love to see separate build challenges.
Yep.
Yeah, it's frustrating. All right. Anybody else? What do you think? Nobody?
Well, I think a lot of times people don't even know which one is a big one compared to a small one. Like, for instance, that tall one that keeps on popping up on DTEC's screen, that could be a small property, but it could just be really tall, but you don't know really. It doesn't give you the numbers or the specs on them either. You think they should do something about that at least.
That's another thing. And just want to make mention again, everybody's voting by images, not even by 3D models. Last contest, lots of people went. This time, I think only 14 people went to see my models. So they just vote by the picture. And we proposed to Upland a while back that they would have it on like in-game setting, so people could see what it looks like in Upland, or at least like a 3D place where they can compare what they look.
That'd be a good idea.
So it's in the air. Maybe next year they'll make it different.
Right on.
Maybe. Yes. All right. Well, I think that one's still yet to play out, which is quite frustrating for everybody involved, especially in nodes areas that have a whole bunch of properties that can't be built on yet, for sure. So yes, ridiculous. Yeah, I think that's fairly good call there, kinda. So thanks for that. And yes, I'll be in touch, and a Halloween sign is on the way. Don't forget that if you want to get one of those yourself, link is in the description to the Google form, or you can always send me a DM. In UDU team news, I have started to onboard some UDU members into the MBA server to help test out permissions, etc. However, that's taken a big backseat, as I've been using every spare second I can scramble together to move, as I said, over 1,000 Samurai Aquatics items from the factory to our 4 showrooms. And of course, I'm still in the process of running the laborious logistics required to get over 60 of the Samurai Surfer statues delivered to all of the legendary Midtown Terrace United residents. I think I've got about a quarter of those done, and I'm kind of doing it in alphabetical order and a bit here, there, and everywhere. So bear with me on that one. I should have that wrapped up hopefully by the end of the week. There are some people that I've contacted who haven't replied on how they want that delivered, so I'll just let those hang. And there's going to be a cap on that. I can't leave that going forever. So if you haven't reached out to me or answered my DM on how you want yours by the end of July, chances are you're going to miss out on that opportunity, because we got to move this stuff and get it all taken care of. So answer your DMs, people. It's a pretty cool prize. All right. On that note, we need to go over and give away some more stuff. I will attempt to do this myself unless somebody can chime in. Is anybody available to dictate? Can let me know who's in the chat at the moment.
Sure, Ben, are you ready, sir?
I'm ready. Thank you.
Just chat or in the actual pop-up view that I can see the grid?
Just whoever's in, whoever's in the Zoom in the grid, please. So I think there's 2 pages there.
Righty then. I got the participants right here. On down we go. So it's myself, Uplando, Blue Rain.
Yep.
D-Tech, the Morecheese.
Tech and cheese, I don't get any. Yeah.
Boulder Magic.
Yep.
Brian. C324R15.
These are, yep.
Dak.
Yep.
Elijah.
J.
Finsky.
Yep.
Grizzly. Kinder. Laban. Maui. The Agency. Shack Attack. Ciprado. Joe. TB125. And CJ.
CJ. All right. Let's see who's going to win something.
Spin the wheel.
Oh, look, it's gone to Kindest cleaned up today.
Get out of town. Congratulations, Kinder. Congratulations.
Let's see what Kindest going to win. Oh, here we go.
Nice.
I'm going to do this again.
Nice.
All right. You get a peek behind the scenes. I love when it reloads. What do you want to win, Kinder? What's on the wheel that you'd like to win?
I want one of those pools, actually. Those are kind of cool, especially living in Arizona.
Well, you know what? That's not going to load, so I'm just going to give you one.
All right, cool. Look
at that.
Head on.
Look at that. So that's
Lucky day. Look at that.
Plus that was the big round pool.
Yes.
A portable pool.
Congratulations. Nice.
Oh, thank you.
Look at that. Yes, Joe, you didn't
Right
answer your
on.
DM, so no soup for you, Joe. Yes, I'm just catching up on chat. All right, let me just fix
cool.
something up. What am I doing? There it is. All right, that's all we got for this week. Don't forget that if you have an Upland NFT or Metaverse product, service, or event to promote, opportunities are always available for short spotlights and direct engagement in this, the UDU podcast, or of course, long form deep dives into what you've got going on the Wine and Cheese in the Metaverse show. You can contact Morecheese or myself to discuss and secure your spots. That's it for another week. Don't forget to look up that quote of the people, by the people, for the people, but the people are. And on that note, see you next week. Are you looking for some of that quality outdoor decor? But you got no freaking idea where to go? Oh, come on over to Samurai Aquatics and Decor for all your outdoor decor needs. Got yourself an empty plot of boring virtual real estate in the metaverse, do you? Yeah, just delete that. I'm still not ready. Sorry. Get yourself an empty plot of boring virtual real estate in the metaverse, do you? Or maybe some kind of crappy ramshackle building that, I don't know, needs a bit of extra spunk to it or something. And stop mucking about and get yourself over to Samurai Aquatics Discord to see all our available stock. We've got loads of different decor to spend your pretend money on. We've got saunas to fire you up, and ice baths to chew you the fudge out. Literally stock coming out of our ears. Grills, swings, seating, and more. So much more. And if we don't got it, give us a buzz, and we could probably make it. Get yourself on over to Samurai Aquatics at 30 Aqua Vista Way in Midtown Terrace, San Francisco, lickety split, and gorge yourself on outdoor decor.